Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Temporarily at least, if you want to watch these shows live, then you will need to subscribe to my second channel, which is called Nathan Oakley, where these shows go out live daily at 2 PM UK time. Now, speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out to Abraham Mohammed, Adam, Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Blue Ridge Ranger, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As the Earth, Chow Yun Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gafford, David Robinson, David Wayne Foster, Daz Studio 68, Edwin Johnson, Erwin Jennisons, Felix Hung, Fireball X, God Rockin, Henrik 86, Joshua Balsimo, Kirsten Smith, Liam Nedrick, Life is Short, Maria Neelands, Matt, Missouri Bear, Nagara, Nathan Thompson, Naibai, Qatar Craig, Renee, Rob H, Sally Ballis, Silver Umbrella, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, TheFlatEarthChannel.com, The Real Gabster, Tina Baker, Tom Herkins, Unbelievable Productions, and Windrider. So a massive shout out of appreciation to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now we are joined in G Plus by both Sleeping Warrior and 10th Man, together with a few people in Discord. So I'll raise the mic on them and you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show over on Nathan Oakley channel.
Yeah, just Patreons and whatever, so.
I'm going to meet up while I'm having something to eat.
Oh, right. Just as soon as I start. That's wonderful.
All right.
All right. You were taking that long. I didn't know where you were.
I was doing the intro.
How many bloody patrons have you got a Bible's worth?
I want to thank every one of them. I'm so grateful to Patreons at the moment. My YouTube revenues dropped so considerably since they've stopped the live shows going out, and I've flipped around the channels just to stop my main channel dying on its ass while they've done this. But that's obviously had a massive impact on me, so it's always the way. You get to these times, you're like, thank God for Patreon. I'm so grateful. Thank you, everyone who supports me. So I want to shout them out all the time because I am extremely grateful to them.
That was just the A's. He came back early.
I'm just going to see whether I can actually share the show. Can I share it on a pre-show?
If you can, well, you can share the live show that will start in 15 minutes, but if you can find it in the subscriptions feed, I doubt you'll find it unless you actually go to Nathan Oakley channel and find where I've scheduled it. I had a conversation with Arwie this morning, so he called me up on the Bullbusters line, called everyone up on the Bullbusters line, going, I can't find my own show. And I'm like, yeah, I told you this a week ago. He's like, yeah, but I can't find it. I'm like, yeah, they've stopped you being shown in the subscriptions feed when you schedule a live show, and you're unlikely to appear in there at all, even if you are live. He's like, yeah, but I do appear. I appear on my channel. I'm like, yeah, just like I told you do. So I explained I had to go and search you out, which is what alerted me to the fact that we weren't showing in live feeds. Same goes for Jeranism. He'll show us live for about 15, 20 minutes, then he'll vanish. So he's lucky enough to at least build an audience once he goes live. But once he's actually got one, it seems he's completely vanished from the subscriptions feed lists. As am I, as is Arwin, as is Quantum Eraser. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of us that don't seem to be getting the same level of publicity when we go live. In fact, quite the contrary, we've been completely cobbled. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, ballers just think that we're lying, and that's why we're being censored. They don't consider the fact that it's censorship.
Lying? Sorry, so let me get this straight. They are under the impression that if you make up something on YouTube, that requires some censorship. No.
Well, they think that we're lying, and YouTube are clamping down on fake science channels or fake stories channels or conspiracy-related channels. So they think it's justified.
But none of those apply to me. I don't cover conspiracy here. Not interested. don't cover fake science. We're not making up pseudoscience. We're exposing their pseudoscience, and we only detail actual science. We challenge them to provide us with actual science when they make a claim about their bullshit nonsense that's fake. So while there might be their fake nonsense getting taken apart on the show, other than their own rhetoric, which is perfectly prevalent everywhere else, there's nothing to censor here. What's to censor? We are, but there's no fake science. What are you talking about? Quite the contrary.
I'm not saying that that's the case. What I'm saying is that they say that we're fake science.
All right. Well, all we talk about here is actual science, cause and effect reasoning, natural law, things of that nature. So, if you're going to talk about actual rhetoric, like when we quote people like Brian Cox and George Musa with their actual rhetoric, that's their mainstream being quoted back to them. If they're going to censor somebody paraphrasing or rephrasing back something that's been said, or, more likely than not, putting quotes around it and citing it specifically verbatim, if that requires censorship, then that is, as far as I'm concerned, the end of any free speech whatsoever ever applied to anybody. Now, you can't repeat the nonsense we've said back to you with a question mark at the end of it. How dare you? Oh, right. Well, yeah, we can. That's what we're doing, but that's absolutely not pseudoscience at all.
So who's the new kid on the block? The old guy, the Black Swan versus Donkey geometry that you had last night?
I don't know. He just happens to have tagged up one of his videos with Black Swan, so I found him. I don't know who he is. No idea. Don't care either. Just some other idiot that thinks he's got a rebuttal to an argument, and what do you know, he uses the same exact rebuttal everyone else uses. The rebuttal that shoots themselves in the face. Oh, it's refracted, so not geometric then, moron. Yeah, you keep towing that line. 6 months, maybe 12, you'll actually realise how devastating your rebuttal is to your own argument. Till then, I'll just point it out and say we've only got one horizon. The horizon we see is not geometric according to you. And we've only got one. The one in your model is geometric, therefore your model's useless. Well done for debunking your own model by claiming the physical geometric horizon in your model is actually refracted.
Nathan, I'm being bullied.
By who?
Ranty.
Okay. I've
He's
lost
just
interest.
believing
He's just
Nathan.
covering.
I think I should set up a GoFundMe request or maybe apply to the government for a loan or something.
It's all that stuff that we just discussed that I don't want to have a part of is stuff that Ranty's currently doing. Something I have no interest in. So, fine, feel free to vent your grievances in the next 10 minutes before the live show starts, but you know my attitude towards Ranty at the moment. I've completely divorced myself from him for a very good reason.
Yeah, he's just... It's not even worth talking about. I just want everyone to know that I'm a victim.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail of you having fell down that cliff at St. Bees, and having fell down the cliff, you documented it, and then Ranty's published it. Well, at least on a thumbnail, as far as I can tell. He's got a picture of you with you lifting your shirt up, showing your injuries, having fallen down a cliff.
Yeah, Ranty thought that was really valuable photography because I told him expressly not to reveal it to anybody because I didn't want anybody to know that I'd fallen down the cliff. I mean, don't get me wrong, pride was hurt a little bit, camera got smashed, but Ranty thought it was really valuable. Actually, it was just a test in case ever I fell out with Ranty to see whether or not he'd reveal something that he thought was valuable to me. First thing he does, reveal that. Like, oh, right, Ranty, so you're being very vindictive then. There's no reason for you to produce that information or that photograph other than to be vindictive. Tells me a lot about you, Ranty. It kind of burns the bridge for you ever being a friend with me again, ever, because you can't be trusted. Yeah, I don't tell anybody your war wounds, do I? No.
It saddens me. I didn't want to... A partial reason for not associating Ranty currently is because I didn't want to fall out with him in such a monumental manner where it's like, right, you've burnt all bridges. I didn't want it to reach that stage. You know, it might be that time goes by and Ranty it ends up becoming less conspiratorial, less of a dick, and he's like, well, fine, all's fair and well then because you haven't fucked me over dramatically. But he has you. It's like, oh, God, that's so disappointing.
Well, he's trying to fuck me over, but to be honest, he can't fuck me over on point. He has to drift off point and become personal. And at the end of the day, Ranty's claims 83% infection rate, 17% mortality, or whatever it was, they're not turning out to be accurate. His fear porn for panic buying was not accurate. That was wrong. He shouldn't have been doing it. And now he's trying to fudge the figures to make it look like he was right. And I just can't allow that to go on, because that's statistical analysis is not fraud. There is a skill to it. There's a debate there. There's a discussion. We can all have the conversation for why such a figure is right or wrong or high or low. I mean, that's a legitimate and valid discussion. But what Ranty's doing is falsifying the figures and how you get to the figures to justify that, in his opinion, he was right all along. I just can't have that. It's just misleading people. And it's like, Ranty, you've thrown everything out the window that you learned in Flat Earth, and you've gone down the conspiratorial rabbit hole in this context, but to the extreme. I mean, everyone knows something else must be going on here. This isn't the flu, but whatever might be going on, Ranty, it's clearly not what you claim it is. But we can't help it. I don't know what to do. It's like,
why'd you care?
Because I thought he'd learnt about evidence and credibility and verification and reliability of evidence claims, and I thought he'd learnt that not all evidence is good evidence, and especially hearsay evidence, and especially from a Freemason, you might want to take that with a pinch of salt, which was my advice I gave to him. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It might not turn out to be true. And he did it anyway. It was almost as if he resented my input on the basis that I didn't have the information and he had the information. He wanted to run with it. And I'm like, well, you've made your bed, Ranty.
It's personal, i.e. he's a friend of yours. You hoped for more from your friend. He didn't give it, so you're disappointed personally. It's nothing to do with trying to convert his audience or anything of that nature.
I just thought he'd learned from Flat Earth how to critically analyse evidence, but for some reason that all went out the window when it came to this Freemason thing, and it's like, Ranty, what are you doing? Don't understand.
I'm glad you got that off your chest.
See, let's just have a quick look. Oh no, I was going to say something and I've just decided not to. I'll retract my IC. So, I bought something for my motorbike, but it's coming from China. It's not going to be here for bloody ages.
Can I pose a question?
Yeah.
The observer height of 1 foot and the radius of 3959 says that the physical geometric horizon could be no more than 1.23 miles, correct?
Yeah.
1.21 gigawatts.
Okay. So just a common sense question based on observation of being at the ocean throughout my life. If you lay on your belly and look out, you're going to see 1.23 miles all day long. What is this refraction argument they got when it's such a short distance?
They don't. When you actually analyse their rebuttals, their rebuttals in the first instance shoot themselves in the face, because if they're claiming refraction, they're no longer claiming geometry. But in terms of actually pulling apart their claim, when you have that BLMSB 69 picture of the oil rigs, when he zooms out, yeah, and he's on essentially on his belly, if you will. He's got the camera on the beach. When he does that, they're claiming that the physical geometry should be right in front of you. So the distance is negligible. But for you to see the physicality of a sphere edge at a very short distance, if you're very low to the ground, you should be able to see it really, really close. Now, this point's been highlighted by other people off on tangents while we debated the Isle of Man. You know, we had people who literally produced models that said, no, if it's a sphere, it should be instantaneously and always noticeable. It'd be really obvious. And we've gone, yeah, but that seems like it's too easy. But it's true. You should be able to get down on your belly and see the curve of the Earth really, really close. And how much refraction would there be between you and, let's call it half a mile? Well, next to none. Because it's only half a mile away. You know, I can look down my street and see half a mile away. Nothing's refracted. But according to them, that's where, if you're on your belly, the physical geometry of the sphere Earth would lie. It's preposterous, but we don't need to argue that. That is their hope. So then if we say, well, our defence is that, no, you wouldn't see refraction at a quarter of a mile if you're lying on the beach. You should just see the physical geometry if there is any. There isn't, we don't. Therefore, there isn't any globe geometry to apply because there isn't any to apply. Especially if you're claiming refraction. In other words, if we strap on the actual rebuttal to their rebuttal on the end and point out that, no, you can't have that amount of refraction looming up everything up to that point, if that point's only a virtually insignificant distance away from you, if you're lying on the ground, well, if you have that argument, they'll just prove, or try and attempt to prove with maths, that they can. And that's where it'll end up, and people will just start arguing about whether or not you can have oodles of refraction within quarter of a mile. And we'll have people out on the street going, look, here's my quarter of a mile length of road and there's sod all refraction on it. And then they'll get down to the ground, reduce the angle and say, there you go, that's refraction. When you reach the diffraction limit. That's what they'd do. And you'd argue about that all day. Instead, oh, so it's refracted. Okay, welcome to Flat Earth. Your horizon is geometric. So if it's refracted, it's not the one in your model, we've only got one. Just end the argument rather than babbling on about their bullshit that they used to justify their rebuttal, which is useless because it makes no sense. But I'd rather leave the audience to do that.
Yeah, I get all that. I'm just saying you could lay down and see those things without a camera at 1 foot. You can see them because on a clear day, you're going to see that far. I see. How many times have I laid down and seen things well over a mile out? It's crazy for them to even use that as an argument.
I agree. I mean, you could say it's another flamethrower at the end of the argument if you want to pull apart that particular nonsense. But none of their refractive effects can be applied in terms of actual atmospheric effects. Cannot be applied. None of them match up with the definition of moving horizon. And then when you actually boil it down to what they're going to use anyway, 7/6R, that relies on the geometry, giving them an R value, and the R value gives them a geometric horizon. So it's game over from that avenue as well.
Yeah, and they can't measure anything if it's not geometric. So how did they get any of the measurements anyway?
They don't. Game over geometry. Bye-bye. Yeah, they require a geometric horizon if they're going to claim Earth curve geometry. If the thing that's proving Earth curve, on what they called Earth curve, was the physical geometric sphere edge horizon in their model, that's what they called Earth curve. If we never see the geometric horizon, or to paraphrase, we never see Earth curve, then we never see Earth curve. Correlating what refraction effects might match with a geometric model in side profile and excluding perspective is irrelevant. It's untenable now. Because they don't have an R value giving them a physical geometric horizon, they're arguing for not having one. So the whole thing falls to pieces. End of globe geometry.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media, especially important at the moment. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Sleeping Warrior and 10th Man in G+, along with a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Good to have you all.
So,
Slow weekend? Good
let's
weekend?
get housekeeping out the way, Nathan.
Say again?
Let's get housekeeping out the way.
Okay, no foreplay, fine. Any signs of a physical Earth curve edge formerly known as the geometric horizon?
No.
Feel free to join in, anybody in Discord.
Come on, ballers. Share your pain.
I'm particularly interested in this question at the moment on account of the fact that it is number one globe-killing argument there is, followed by gas pressure, followed by Coriolis. Go on.
Mr. Sensible thinks that the Black Swan argument is stupid. Silly, stupid. Yeah, that's because it debunks your model, Mr. Sensible. I know you don't like it, but that don't make it stupid. So let's see you address that again. Because if we debunk the radius of Earth at best, as you said, then what are we living on?
Well, I don't care the answer to that question. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. However, the nature of the model is irrelevant when their model has become untenable. His model is a sphere Earth. His model is untenable. His model required a geometric horizon that they no longer have. So, silly argument? Well, if you consider debunking, as you put it, radius and Earth geometry a silly argument, then that would be you sticking your head in the sand, having declared that at best we'd debunk the radius. Yeah, we have. Any signs of any Earth curvature?
Not from East Vale.
No.
Anybody? Discord server? Any Earth curve on the horizon?
On the horizon? Nope.
Fair enough. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
I think what I'm going to do, Nathan, I'm going to...
Not here.
I think I'm going to drop down the list and start kicking people out of the Discord server just because nobody's... I've heard rumours that the ballers are protesting peacefully and quietly by sitting and taking up slots on the Discord server, deliberately not speaking, and then having to basically show that they're rebelling and whatever by being there. So I think we should just go through and start kicking them out if they don't speak.
Yeah, okay, we'll do it after housekeeping. We've not got a full Discord server just yet, so I'm not that keen to do that just yet, but we will do. Hey, Arwin.
Hello. Where is everyone?
Where's our audience? They don't know
where's
we're here.
The panel?
Oh, the panel.
The
I don't
panel.
know about the panel. The audience, however, they probably are completely blissfully unaware that we're even live, as was the case with you this morning, Arwin.
Oh, 46 watching now in 4 minutes.
I'm just going to go through 4 minutes ago. Nathan went live. So I'm just going to click the share button and see what happens. Share and post.
I already shared it in my chat.
That's the only reason we've got an audience. Thank you for sharing, and you in the audience. More so than ever, sharing is incredibly important, because we're not in the subscription feeds when live. Now, I could speculate all day about why. I'm not going to. However, it's important that you share the show, because the only reason we've got an audience is probably because Arwin and Sleeping Warrior are sharing. So thank you very much to all of you in the audience who did share. Anyway, any signs of axial rotation?
No.
Yeah, the stars rotate backwards in the south compared to the north.
No, they don't.
Yeah, but what is their axis, though?
All the stars rise in the east and set in the west. Regardless of
yeah,
the
that's the
location.
best thing for that.
With the exception of Polaris, that is the only exception. They all do the same thing. They're not moving in opposite directions when you go to the southern quote-unquote hemisphere. That's nonsense. That assumes you're on a ball and utilises you facing the opposite direction to claim that you've got stars rotating in the opposite direction. No. They all travel in the same direction, with the exception of Polaris. They all rise in the east and set in the west, without exception. Doesn't matter where you are, they all do that.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the observer turning round and facing the opposite direction, but, you know...
I mean, everything to do with that.
Well, are we even sure what east and west is at a geometrical relation to the Earth, you know?
Yeah, it's one of those fixed points that are
way.
actually real. North is real.
Oh, yeah.
It's an absolute
Oh, we
direction.
know it's over there, you know? It's like that way. But how does it orient as you move over the Earth's surface? is it exactly in the same angular direction constantly, or are you actually then forced to basically rotate? So this is again the equatorial orientation matter, but it could apply anywhere.
Yeah, you do. You know you do. But that doesn't change that it's an absolute direction in terms of it's always going to be where it is. And as you move, your compass needle's going to move to point towards it as you reorientate yourself.
Right.
Anyway. So axial rotation? Anybody? Discord server? Distance to the sun?
None in Bedworth.
Go on, Brian.
There's none in Bedworth.
None in Leamington either. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
It's over there.
That's right, it is. Well, actually, it's grim here, so I don't know where it is. Somewhere over there.
I can only say that, by the way, because it is daytime, of course.
Right, of course. We wouldn't expect you to point out the sun at night time, Owen. We're not that unreasonable. Any evidence of a self-perpetuation? Go on.
I just see Discord getting a lot of people getting removed. I just didn't want to get removed.
Yeah, I think Anthony's shuffling them around just to make sure there's not any dead wood in there.
Yeah, Neil
Yeah, right on.
Costantino, if you don't contribute to the show, mate, you can listen live and not take up a seat. If you are going to contribute, start talking. Otherwise, you can sit in the after show. Same for you, Mazar, 1985. Oh, look at all these people now. Ryan, same for you. If you want to listen to the show, go and listen to it live.
Anthony,
Can't find it live.
We can't find it live. That's true. You can't find it. That's a reasonable enough excuse, but no. You're talking though, Brian, so you're all right. But good response. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No, but I do like the ballers' excuse for it.
What is their excuse?
No, just the fantasy that it can actually exist.
Oh, I thought you meant the origin story. I like the origin story best.
Oh yeah, the origin story is good, but just the mental gymnastics you have to have. I heard some ballers the other day talking about what gravity would be like at the center if a human being were able to be in the exact center. Like, would they experience gravity? And it's just the conceptual gymnastics that they would have to think of just to ponder it. It's just mind-boggling. It's funny.
What we've got left. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
No, mate.
No.
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
No.
Last but by no means least, any evidence of the R value, Earth radius?
That's just fictitious.
Don't you need a geometric horizon to figure that out?
Yeah, you do, yeah. Well, that concludes the housekeeping. So you're having a right juggling match in the Discord server, Anthony.
I'm just tired of people sitting there lurking and not contributing in any way. I mean, there's no need for them to be there. They can listen to the show on YouTube. Other people might be more accommodating. I'm not. It bugs me when people don't come in and do something.
No, I agree. It's one of those that if you allow the Discord server on the live stream to go beyond what it is now, I can't see everybody. They can't physically all fit on the screen. It won't on any. It doesn't matter if I had a screen 10 times bigger. It wouldn't make any difference. That's just how much Discord allows you to see at any one time. So based on that, if there's a full house, I want to be able to see everyone. So if they're causing audio chaos when there's a good bit, then they can, if I can't see them and I can't get to them quick enough. So we've limited the numbers, but then they've decided from what you're saying to just fill up the seats and then say nothing, so that there's no embarrassing idiot that comes along and goes,
Yeah, that's it.
then just destroys their own paradigm by opening their mouths. Because at the moment, the worst thing they can do is talk here. So by preventing people coming into the live show, it means that the seats can't be filled up with random fundies. Hey, Paul.
Hello.
Oh, silky smooth today. Sounds like you're on your...
Can't talk to them.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you're on your Yeti mic. I won't engage you in too much conversation, Paul. So how's your weekend been?
Hey, I'm going to post something in Master B.
Paul has, yeah, I noticed that. Hopefully he'll fill us in.
Okay, let's. All right, I got 2 slides of Master B. Can someone pull them up? Look at the first. I need some
Yeah, no worries. It's on
comments
screen.
on these.
Yep, it's up.
All right. So this is from an excerpt from A.T. Young, Andrew Thomas Young, Rays and Beams. I'd like a little commentary on this before we go to the next slide. Rays and beams. There's another catch to the straight line statement. Lines are a geometric idealization. What? They have no width. These straight or curved lines along with which light moves are usually called rays in optics. Like the lines of geometry, they are convenient fiction. There really is no such thing as a ray of light. Instead, what exists in the real world is a beam of light, and beams have width. Right away, I should caution you that what I call a beam of light may not be what you call a beam of light. You probably think something like searchlight beam, all lit up and plainly visible. But that searchlight beam is only visible because of light that is scattered out of the actual beam. So what you see is not the beam itself, but the path of the beam, made visible by the light that being scattered out of it toward your eye. If a beam were traveling through a vacuum, instead of through a polluted urban air, it would be quite invisible. So remember, I'm talking about invisible beams. Now, what is the relation between rays and beams? Well, beams are real and rays are something we imagine. You can think of a ray as the center line of a narrow beam, if you like. I can't understand what this man's talking about.
I can.
Go ahead.
I'm not reading it though. I'm just listening to what you're saying, and it sounds great
Well, then
so
go.
far.
What do you mean sounds great so far?
I don't know. What are you reading from?
Lines are a geometric idealization? Is
No.
that possible? Well, that's what he says.
Well, that's philosophical garbage.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if we go to the next slide, do we have that, Nathan? Let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up.
Stupid mute button.
Yay,
Yes,
nay.
it is.
Okay, sorry. The mute
Circulating
button.
rays.
I'm talking there. Okay, the mute button. Okay, this is the one that the QE has often said from Andrew Thomas Young as well. If you go to the bottom of that larger paragraph, in general, the curvature of the ray is different from the curvature of their surface. We're only concerned with rays that bend just enough to follow the curve of the Earth. The simplest solution to the horizontal ray paradox is to remind ourselves that rays are an unrealistic mental construct. In reality, we always have a beam of light. Infinitely narrow rays do not exist. So there he goes in another section saying pretty much the same thing. So what is ray bending if they don't exist? And what is this straight lines aren't geometry? I mean, I can't follow this guy's doublespeak.
done with the slide?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just they twist sentences, say things that make you think like they know more than you, but then when you go slowly read them, you say, "What the heck are you trying to say here?" They use mathematics, and then they say, "But you can't trust the mathematics."
Well, you summarised it. It's the height of doublespeak.
Hmm.
Hey, I've been trying to speak in Discord.
Hey, Neil, go ahead.
I keep getting moved out of the way. No, I can't. Anthony kept saying, if you're not going to participate, and I'm like, yes, I'm trying. No axial rotation from Brooklyn. But I guess
Fair
he
enough.
wasn't hearing me.
I've just got to kick people out, mate. Apologies if I kicked you out prematurely. I do suffer a little bit from premature ejection.
Understood, Anthony. Big fan.
Cool, man.
People
I just want some contribution. I don't like people just sat there doing nothing. It's like they're trolling up like silently and like, what's the word? Passive aggressive. It's like, no, we're not doing that today.
Anthony, you're forgiven. Need no more explanations.
Maybe
I was trying, though.
Cool.
I was trying to speak.
I'll plug the join link. So if you did want to join, feel free to challenge us on anything that's been discussed. If you listen to the housekeeping questions and you feel that there is a rebuttal, there is a link in the info box below this video, right at the bottom of the info box. There's a link to Discord, and there's, for a change, plenty of gaps. Thanks to Anthony, hustling people out who aren't talking.
Well,
There's plenty of spaces for people that do want to contribute. If you do want to present some evidence for like axial rotation or gas pressure, all the key points that we ask about, let's hear it.
Main one I want to hear about is people's rebuttal to the demolishment of the geometric model that is a globe Earth, otherwise known as the Black Swan. Got a close eye
My
on.
son don't believe the picture.
Go on, Neil.
My son does not believe the picture, so I'm running into a brick wall with him, my 17-year-old.
How do you mean doesn't believe the picture?
He thinks it's fake.
The video for a start, so feel free to go and check out the full video. There's several of them. He does it quite frequently.
CGI. It's CGI again.
Yeah,
That's just flat out denial. There's not a great deal you can do about just flat out denial. When people deny the evidence of their own eyes, there's not a lot you can do to help them.
But it's my son.
Get him to take his own picture or phone.
It's like Morpheus says to Neo when he's walking through the test program, pretending he's in the real Matrix, real world, whatever you want to call it, in what looks like the real world, but actually is a computer simulation. And he says some people just aren't ready to be woken up, and they'll fight like mad to try and protect the system they're in. And isn't it the truest words ever spoken?
Yep. Right, you defend what you know. That's your home. That's the home for your mind.
Exactly. And there are certain...
Or what you think you know.
Well, there's certain processes that you can employ to reaffirm your own religious belief. One of them, hats off to Arwin, is chanting. And that's what they do. We used to call it rinse and repeat. It isn't rinse and repeat, it's chanting. That's what they're doing, chanting their rhetoric over and over again to reaffirm it. Because it's being challenged. So if they say it again and again and again and again, it'll eventually become real. Is it called an incantation, Arwin? You probably know this terminology better than I do.
Incantation, yeah, I guess. I don't know, the terminologies are kind of disputed, you know, people use different terminologies. It's more like, I consider it like a spell. If you just say something over and over and you visualize it constantly, which could be looking at an icon, you know, in a way, some Christian religions also have people that do this, to just stare at icons and then they imagine all these things, you know, that are so important to them. Well, ballers do that in their own way by reaffirming their model, which is the core essence, the structure of their religion and the mass involved and all that.
It is an incantation. Can I just read the definition from Wiki? An incantation, a spell, a charm, an enchantment, or a bewitchery is a magical formula intended to trigger a magical effect on a person or objects. The formula can be spoken, sung, or chanted. An incantation can also be performed during ceremonial rituals or prayers. That's what it is. They're chanting.
Well, chanting would be the more religious type version of a spell. So, yeah, the real believers, they will do it religiously. Now, there's also the wizards that kind of know it's not real, and they do it very differently because they deal with different things mentally. They're not trying to fool themselves, they're trying to fool others. See? But yeah, the ballers we deal with, a lot of them are just believers.
Yeah.
So they chant. They don't spellcast, they chant. Because they believe.
Right, who's posting this in... Which feed is this? Master B. No. That's 10th! What are you doing 10th? Gone quiet.
What? I'm bringing attention to one guy, one country who's not buying the BS.
Okay.
How long he's going to live? We're not canceling anything. Belarus president ignores coronavirus threat. Urges citizens to drink vodka, play hockey, hits on us. Love this guy.
Okay. And what's the other one? Shock report, EU total deaths per week for all 24 reporting countries combined is lower than normal weekly rate in every age group. Okay. How do you know this is true? Have you checked this? What's your source?
Andrew Thomas Young, of course.
Your source for this was Andrew Thomas Young. Come off it. I don't think so. Right.
Well, according to the stats,
the sources right there.
Right. Well, according to the stats, officially the coronavirus.
Oh my God! Flat Earth debate.
I know. This is pure joke. It's gonna end. But this is from Owen Benjamin. He said that the coronavirus has officially heightened the life expectancy of people in Spain because the average death for corona was higher than the average death age. Statistically, that is.
Fabulous. Meanwhile, we don't have a geometric physical sphere edge horizon for their globe model. But let's talk about the current propaganda. Why not?
I know, I thought it was funny.
Well, they're nowhere to be found. Black Swan destroyed them, and they've been January. I mean, look at the absence of ballers here.
Say again, Neil?
Aren't they both propaganda?
The physical geometric sphere edge being debunked could be classified as propaganda before it was debunked. The debunking of it isn't propaganda, it's just highlighting a geometric impossibility.
Agreed. But things are strange around here, though. They got tape marks at the Dunkin' Donuts where you can only go 7 feet to the next customer. They got glass shields over all the cashiers. In the
It's not going to end, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm on mute. I'm not going to tut and sigh while he says it. He'll just get annoyed.
Go on, Neil. Finish it up. Round off the point.
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt somebody?
No. Finish up.
It's hard to escape.
It's strange. They got glass partitions between the cashiers and the customer now. You can't get within 6 feet of the next person in Dunkin' Donuts.
Jesus H. Christ. Oblivion.
Dude, not
what
in
the
mic.
hell are you doing? Oblivion.
I'm so
Hello?
sorry.
Yeah, go on mute. Don't do that again.
I'm really sorry. I'm usually pushed to talk. I don't know what happened.
Terrible.
Ugh.
7 feet and glass and donuts.
Go on, Neil. Finish off your thought. Feel free.
That's all I wanted to say. It's just very strange. That's all. I'm still waiting to get it. I was in the epicenter for 2 weeks, so I've been out of there for going on my second week, and I haven't had a symptom. I think it's a bunch of crap.
Neil, I thought when you said 7 feet, glass and donuts, there'd be a twist to the story.
King of Pun. That's what you should change your name to. Not 10th Man, King Pun.
King Pun?
Hey, Runs with Scissors, how you doing?
Better king pun than a kingpin. Unless you're the kingpin of puns.
Unless you live at a bowling alley. Well, the ballers have conceded, Nathan. It's over. Black Swan killed them all.
Maybe. I mean, it's no offense to Neil, but he's a reflection of everyone's general mindset at the moment. You know, people are, whether they want to be or not, preoccupied with the things. Well, that's understandable given the current circumstances that we face. So I understand people wanting to talk about it. I understand it being a massive distraction. Doesn't change what our show's about. It's still the same show, right?
Yeah, but if the ballers had anything, they'd be on here gloating and celebrating and saying, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. But when it's the other way around, they're hiding.
Well, they want to do it within their own echo chambers, which is why I'm keeping a close tab on the search terms. Even though some of them, like Simon Dan, are quite sneaky and don't put it in their search terms, so I don't come across them unless Itzik Carmona tells me in a chat that Simon Dan's covered the Black Swan, because he didn't have it in his title, didn't have it in his tags, didn't have it in his description, so I didn't find it. But I found it eventually. And then highlighted the nonsense, towing the line, saying bullshit, refraction, undoing his own geometry. But like I say, I'm keeping my ear to the ground because I want to see a debunking. I want to see someone actually try and attempt to debunk it with something other than something that actually debunks their argument.
So what you really want is what they really, really, really want but can't get. It's become like that, is it?
Yeah. I want the magical unicorn they want. I want them to come up with a way of squaring this circle. And this circle needs squaring because the geometric physical sphere edge horizon in the geometric Earth curve model has been relinquished following the Black Swan. You only need one. The next thing you know, everyone on your opponent's side is telling you how non-geometric the horizon is. It's refracted according to them now. Yeah, that's because of the Black Swan. It's geometric in the model. It must be that horizon because we've only got one. But they're all telling us how it isn't that horizon. So, yeah, I'm waiting for someone to actually come up with a decent debunking and square that circle, make the horizon geometric again. Come on, Fundies, where's that geometric horizon?
Well, maybe Mr. Sensible wasn't too far off, even though he got a lot of grief, and deservedly, because the whole globe model is a model, and Black Swan proved that the model was wrong. That's why he said, well, the best you've done is disprove the radius. But they got such a bigger problem now. So they're in a bad place, no matter which way they look at it.
Hey, Nathan, hashtag MHGA.
What's that?
Make horizon geometric again.
Oh, my hashtag's just the number 1 and then horizon. Hashtag 1 horizon, right?
Right.
We've only got one horizon, and the horizon in their model is geometric. Therefore, the horizon we should see should be, if it's their model, that horizon. That's the one in their model. That's the one they're saying proves out the sphericity of the Earth. That's what they call Earth curve. So we're going to need to see it for it to be proven out by the model that you're claiming it's proven out by. So declarations that we don't see something that's marked with an X in a model, labelled horizon, that actually it's a different horizon, and we have to position this donkey dick geometry line in a different position, with a straight line to a position we don't physically see, that you'd see if it was there in a bent format, that tangent line. Yeah, the whole thing is just a complete shit show. For them, not us. For us, it's happy days.
I think Arwen's business should have a lot of clientele at this point. Arwen's willing to help the ballers in their arguments for a small fee, right, Arwen?
You mean the 6 million?
6 million is not going to buy them a geometric. You can't square the circle.
You mean the
no
ball,
amount of money.
not the euro.
There's no amount of money that's going to buy them a geometric horizon. It's been debunked. It is now untenable. You can't unscramble scrambled eggs. Once the horizon is declared to no longer be physical, it's no longer the geometric horizon in their model. It can't go back. No money will save this. It is the end of the geometric globe Earth argument. Whether or not they like it is a different matter. Whether or not they understand it is a different matter. How long it'll take for them to understand their declarations of refracted horizons debunks their own geometry. For that penny to drop, it might take another 6 months for the people actually arguing about it. For the other people who aren't, or the people sticking their head in the sand, it's going to take even longer.
I don't know.
Yeah, but can't Arwen benefit from the fact that the ballers have money and they'll throw it away?
No, they're not going to throw it away.
Yeah, they're going to want
Not like
value.
that.
They're going to want him to unscramble scrambled eggs and make a geometric horizon where one no longer exists.
Well, I can do that. I kind of already did. It's just being overlooked, you know. That's why they're not paying me, because I am doing it anyway, because I can't help it.
Hello, Brian and Discord. How you doing?
I already told them exactly what they need to do, but yeah, they're never going to be able to step away from the doublethink process at this. It's just that part is gone. The original trick of just helping people to imagine how the horizon could be the leading edge of a sphere, that really is gone. But that doesn't mean it is the complete end of it. You know, doublethink can bring you a long way. Just have to insert it here and there, and you can still dream on.
Yeah, for a while.
They're waiting for the pronouncement from their, scientific experts. They don't think on their own. They wait for the pronouncement to be handed down. That's fine if that's the way you want to roll, but the horizon's looking pretty flat.
You're absolutely right. People want to be told what's what. Tell me, master, what do I do now? Stay in your house. Okay. What else do I do? Don't touch your face. Okay.
It's beautiful that they have so much faith in, their, right think, masters in science and government and the media. I used to have that too until I saw some of the inconsistencies, that is.
I think what's going on with them is that it's been firmly pointed out to them that what they actually have, or what they're left with, is what they always had, which is a pseudo-geometric belief that has no place in reality, and they're under serious pressure.
I thought about how if the ball was rotating, the sunlight would hit the roof of a room and then systematically be angled downward toward the floor like on a rotating object, only reverse since you're inside of the room. And we really don't see that. We do see light hit the ceiling, but it doesn't, go forward and progressively hit the floor downward like it's rotating. Because of diffraction, when light goes through an opening, kind of splashes through. And so you will get a bit of the light hitting the ceiling, but it's not like a laser that goes up and then angles downward progressively throughout the day, like it should be if we were on a rotating object. The angle of light always comes down and at an angle, like the sun is always above you, but not like you're on a rotating object that's rotating toward the light of the sun.
Yeah, I watched a short video where it showed somebody spinning around while looking up at the stars with a good camera, and I literally it's only a very short piece. I think it's only a few seconds, and the reason is you start getting sick. You start feeling nauseous if you're spinning around and the stars are staying still. It makes you feel nauseous. So
that's what's so insidious about what they've done. They've got us to deny the input from one of our senses that says that we are not moving by saying that we're moving so gently we don't notice the movement, which is just an assumption. They don't even have any math to back it up as far as I can tell. They say that you can start feeling, movement around 6 centimeters per second or something like that, 6 to 8 centimeters per second. But on an absolute scale, that's like 2, 3 miles a day when we're going millions of miles through space. Theoretically, we would feel at least something.
You would feel it. Adam
you
Meakin.
would.
Hold on one second. Adam Meakin did the maths for this. So he may be in the audience. He might pop by sometime. If I see him in the next week or so, and I remember, I'll ask him to dig out the maths for this. But he did calculate it. It is tiny. So while you might think, oh, no, you definitely feel it, and that's kind of your gut instinct. Well, no. Yes, you'd feel it. No, it wouldn't be some immense force. But yes, you would definitely feel it. It's movement. So regardless of how slight, you'd still feel it. That was just based on the calculations for Earth turn. None of the other movements, just that one. But Adam did calculate it out once and present me with the maths. And it was kind of a debunking to all the people who would say, it'd be so obvious. And well, no, it wouldn't necessarily be, but you'd still feel it. That's the point.
Nathan, I just want to invite...
I'm feeling 20 miles in a car. I'm feeling millions of miles in space. I don't care what you say. And then on top of it, they say you only feel acceleration. Well, a rotating, motion is inherently accelerational because you have to constantly change your position to maintain the same position around the central axis, assuming you're spinning, which no experiment has ever proven that we're moving at all.
This was a point that Ute Hube was sort of banging for quite a while in the comments section, and even moaning at me for not discussing it enough, saying that, based on all those different axes that you're travelling through, you'd feel speed changes. There would be speed changes, which would be discernible to a huge extent. Like I say, when Adam did the maths, he's just calculating out the rotating sphere. However, as YouTube will often point out in the chat, no, there's going to be massive speed changes, and you would definitely feel them. So from that perspective, no, the maths hasn't been done for that, but I'm going to make the overt statement in that regard. Like being on a waltzer, you notice it.
I love Effie's return to reality. We see flat level land, and the globe does not model the flat level land that we see. I particularly like the Hebrew cosmology flat model. Very sleek, very elegant. Flat land, with the North Pole in the center. Continents radiating out, surrounded by the ocean, surrounded by an Antarctic ice wall of about 40 to 60,000 miles in circumference, give or take, covered by a hemispheric dome that's about 100 miles up if you get meteorite activity 80 to 120 miles up above us, and assuming that meteorites are chips off the old dome, as it were. Under the waters above, under the heavenly throne of God, the land being thick with underground caverns on pillars on top of a watery deep. Hell or Tartarus at the heart of the earth.
We don't know all those things.
Yeah, it's all right. These are his beliefs. He hasn't expressly stated that, however.
Fair enough.
What about the media that's going to hit on April 29th?
The chip off the dome? I'm not scared.
1 second.
It'll be like a quarter if that. We don't get big pizzas that fall down.
Sorry, just 1 sec. Hey,
No,
Sean.
they said something about it.
Hold on. Hello. Hey, Sean, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Good to have you. Sorry to interrupt Discord and Neil. Just wanted to say hello.
Thank you.
Who are you talking to then, Patreon?
What? I'm talking to Sean. I just said hello to him.
Oh. I thought I heard you say welcome to Patreon.
No, I don't think so.
Sean's pretty good at certain topics.
But now you mention it, big shout out to all my Patreons. Welcome to all of you. Definitely hello. Thanks for the segue.
You got that one in.
Yeah, join me on Patreon.
Sean's pretty good with a couple of topics, aren't you, Sean?
I am. I figured we'd talk about this Horizon situation. A few things aren't being said as correctly as they should be.
Oh, you're really inaudible. I don't know whether it's too close to your mic or what.
I can't
my bad. I'm trying to speak low. I got people sleeping in the house right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you're just a bit too close to your mic.
All right, my bad.
What did you say? Something about
the
Black
idea
Swans?
that anyone's saying that we see a geometric horizon, it's not true. We never see a geometric horizon.
Welcome to Flat Earth. Welcome to Flat Earth.
That's the first
model.
step.
Hold on, Sean. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Yep. Well, the thing is, the basic claim,
Hold
your
on,
claim
Discord.
basically boils down to the only
Discord,
thing that...
Discord, we've heard from you. Thank you. Welcome to Flat Earth, Shawn. Your model has got a X next to the word horizon in the geometric model. That is your horizon. Now, you've just openly and boldly declared that we never see that. Well, thank you very much. No, you're right. We never see the geometric horizon in your geometric model. That's correct. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Well, again, when you're talking a model of the globe, you're talking geometric because we don't observe the model. We only enter the data that we get from the model. What we see is the apparent horizon, and that's...
Oh, what we enter is the data from the model based on R. Well, you'd need a geometric horizon for that. The model's got an R value that gives you a geometric horizon, Shawn. Were you unaware it's marked with an X labelled horizon based on the R value? So you're definitely going to need a geometric horizon. Your R value's basing your model on that. Were you unaware?
Yeah, well, see, we don't ever observe the geometric horizon.
I know. So welcome to Flat Earth. We know, Shawn. Shawn, I already said. Okay. Thank you. We know we never observe the horizon in your geometric model, labelled horizon marked with an X and geometric. And according to you, we never see that. We would need to see that if we're looking at your model, and we don't according to you. So welcome to Flat Earth. You'd need to see that geometric horizon.
Okay, in the model you're speaking... Okay.
No, not in the model. No, not in the model. In reality.
Okay, if we're talking reality, then we're not talking the geometric.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, if we're talking reality, we definitely. Horizon. Yeah, if we're talking reality, we're definitely not talking about your geometric model. That's right, Shawn. Welcome to Flat Earth.
If we are making observations, no, we are not talking about the geometric horizon.
That's correct. Even though we've spent months, if not years, discussing how photographs compare to that geometric model, you're right, Shawn. If we're talking about photographs and observations, we're definitely not talking about your geometric sphere model with its geometric horizon. That's right. Welcome to Flat Earth.
When we're making observations, you aren't making an observation to compare against the geometric horizon.
No, we're not, but you spastics are. You've come here for years, showing us photos and comparing them to that model, you moron. No, so what do you mean we're not doing that? That's precisely what you've been doing for the last 4 straight years. Hello? You said we're not doing that.
I'm telling you exactly.
Sorry, hello? Hello? There was a long pause and now you're talking through my repetition. Yet you've just said we're not comparing photos to the geometry, yet you've spent 4 years doing just that. Hello?
I said when we make observations, we are not observing the geometry.
No shit. And my response, you've spent 4 years doing exactly that. Are you deaf?
Actually, I haven't had this conversation with you, so I'm not really sure what...
Sorry, I've got 4 years worth of debates where morons like you come along, present photos and compare them to Earth curve geometry.
Well, if you're talking about the tangent line, then you can do that in any observation, but what we're talking about now is a horizon.
Excuse me, you can do that with any observation. How are you going to draw a straight tangent line when all the lines are bent and refracted? A tangent is straight, so your declaration that you can do that on any observation, meaning reality, not meaning your model, would be to assert that you can apply a straight line to bent lines. A tangent's straight.
That's how we know it's a mirage.
Oh, so you're not going to be performing geometry then? So if it's a mirage and you've got bent lines, how the hell are you going to draw a tangent, which is a straight line?
Because that's what you're looking. You look in a straight line.
Sorry, you've just explained that all the bloody lines are bent! You stupid dick! So no, according to you, it's all refracted, not straight! So you double-speaking fundy shite nonsense won't get past me. You've just declared it's all refracted and now you're saying we see in straight lines? No, you've just gone to great efforts to explain how it's not straight!
Do you actually listen? Because I haven't said...
Yeah, you've just told me it's going in straight lines. Is straight refracted, idiot?
Said it.
Is straight refracted?
What? Say it. Repeat it again. I never said that.
Straight refracted.
Straight refracted. What does that even?
It means what you're bloody arguing for this bloody argument, you stupid idiot. How thick are you?
I actually haven't argued anything. I've been listening.
I've argued that you're claiming all the light's bent, refracted horizon. We never see a geometric horizon. It's refracted, it's apparent. That's what you've argued. Now you've simultaneously told us that all the lines we see are straight. That's not the same as you claiming they're refracted. That means deviated from straight, you complete bonehead.
Everything you see is refraction.
So not straight then! So when you say we see straight lines, you mean we don't see straight lines, therefore cannot do geometry.
How do you know what I'm even saying?
Because you said we see straight lines straight after telling us how refracted everything was.
I did. I haven't...
Yeah, you did! Are you stupid? Are you slow? Can you not pay attention to your own bloody words? You went to great lengths to tell us that we never see a geometric horizon. Why? Because it's always refracted. Then you tell us, when asked how we're going to get a tangent, that we always see straight. So you don't seem to be keeping up with your own bloody nonsense, you fool.
It's pretty clear that you're just full of shit of what you're saying.
Excuse me, don't swear at me. You've just gone to great lengths to explain how everything's refracted, then told us we see in straight lines. That would be a contradiction.
Thanks. You haven't let me talk at all. How have I...
You've told us that everything's refracted and we don't see a geometric horizon. Then when I asked you where you're going to get a straight line from, that would be a tangent, you said we see straight. That's what you told me. A complete and total contradiction. Now, if you can't accept that you've contradicted yourself with your own nonsense, and then you claim I'm full of shit when I unpackage and totally expose your contradiction, then you're merely an asshole who can't keep up with his own doublespeak.
Are you going to let me talk now? I mean, we've only gotten 4 seconds out before you start talking.
I'll do as I damn well please. When someone tells me that we don't have a geometric horizon and I welcome them to flat Earth, and their explanation for not having a geometric horizon is that everything is always refracted, and then I ask them how they're going to draw a straight line, that would be a tangent, and you explain that everything's straight, I'm going to hold your toes to the fire and point out your contradiction, you unbelievable retard. If it's all refracted by definition, it is not straight. So where are you going to get tangent from? Where are you going to get a tangent for your geometry? Where are you going to get a tangent for your geometry? That's a straight line in amongst all the refraction.
What refraction is?
Oh, he's just talking through my fucking question. What an arsehole. So you're not going to listen to my question, arsehole. You're just going to talk through it and then hopefully ignore the question that you've obfuscated non-stop since I asked it the first time. If everything's being bent with refraction, where are you going to get a straight line for your geometry? That would be a tangent.
Can I actually talk now? You know?
You're going to get one last chance to answer my fucking question, then I'm going to kick you out. Where are you getting a straight line from if it's all refracted?
Kick me out.
You talked through my question, and now you're asking for permission to talk after talking through my question. I've asked it about 6 times. I want to know, given that all the light's refracted according to you, where the hell you're going to get a straight line from for the tangent?
Your observation, wait, do you look in curved? Or do you look in a straight, can you look in a straight line?
You've just told me it's all curved. Sorry, according to you, it's all refracted. That means deviated from straight. And now you're asking me if I see in a curved line. Sorry, you've just explained how it's all refracted. Now you're asking me if it's straight. So should we completely ignore the complete nonsense that you've declared that we only see non-geometry refracted bent lines and then ask me if they're straight or not? What kind of an idiot are you?
Wait, do you even have a clue what you're even saying, or do you just...
Yes! You are telling us we never see geometry, it's refracted. That would mean you can't draw straight lines to it. When I asked where you're getting a tangent from, you said we see in straight lines and are now asking me to justify your contradiction, and you're constantly talking through the demolition of your contradiction. It's like you want to censor it. You want to censor the fact that you've contradicted yourself by non-stop talking through me and not listening to the repetition of the question for the 8th time, where you're getting a straight line from if all the lines are refracted. Instead, you'll ignore that question and ask me if I understand, or ask me if the lines are straight.
I didn't ask you any of those questions or that.
Sorry, did you not just ask me only 30 seconds ago? It's like I've got the same short-term memory problem he has. He just literally asked me if we do not see in straight lines. That was your question to me. And I've pointed it out and labelled it while you've talked through me. And now you're saying you haven't asked me if we only see in straight lines, given that your opening gambit was to tell us everything's refracted, ergo bent lines. But you want to tell me that you haven't asked me if things travel in straight lines after a declaration that everything's bent? Yeah, you have. You've got short-term memory problems.
No, I didn't ask you if things travel in straight lines.
Yeah, you did. Do you want me to trim it out in the edit? Because your lie will only go on a short little edit, you moron. This is being recorded.
Yeah, me too. I'm recording it on my side, so when all...
Yeah, good for you. I will edit out the part where you ask me if light is not travelling in a straight line, and then 30 seconds later deny that you even asked it. You lying scumbag, fundy, double-speaking, contradicting idiot. Yeah, you've come on and told us how light is all bent, and then you've come on and told us how it's all going in straight lines. That's a contradiction, you complete moron.
How did I tell you all this? Because every time I start talking, you...
Yeah, because every time you open your mouth, you talk nonsense. You ask me if light's travelling in a straight line, having declared that it's not. It's all bent.
I didn't ask you for light.
Yeah, you did. Second time you've denied it. Yeah, I've recorded it. You asked me if all the light was actually straight. Does light not travel in a straight line to your eye? Well, after your declaration that it's all bent, no, not according to you.
That was not... You ready to actually listen so you can actually understand what I said?
Okay, how'd you get a straight line given that all the light's refracted according to you? Go.
I didn't say you gives a straight line, but if...
Then you can't do geometry, you complete bonehead. If you can't draw a straight line, you don't have a tangent, and your model requires a straight line tangent drawn to the tip of the curved surface you claim is the geometric horizon, blocking things in the distance. So you absolutely require a straight line, idiot!
You're a liar.
Sorry, now I'm getting called a liar. No, that's what geometry is. A tangent's a straight line. You're going to require one to do geometry, moron. I'm not a liar, you're an idiot. Double-speaking, contradicting moron.
You're literally...
So now it's just lie through my double-speak declaration that you have utilised.
This is fun.
Oh, really? What, getting smashed by me is fun, is it? What, telling me that, or asking me if light actually travels in a straight line to my eye after going to great lengths of explaining that we never see a geometric horizon, and we could never therefore draw a tangent, but you're going to magic a straight line out your ass?
I didn't say... You ready to actually hear my argument?
My argument is that you'd require a geometric horizon to do geometry, and you'd need to draw a straight line to that physical geometric horizon, and I'm asking where you're getting that straight line from, given that everything according to you is refracted. Now, if you can't answer where the hell you'll get a straight line to do globe geometry from, it's only because it's the end of the globe model. You don't have a geometric horizon.
You are correct. We do not observe geometric horizon.
Welcome to Flat Earth. That's correct. We don't have a geometric horizon, but your model does.
The model isn't real. We don't observe on a model.
Excellent. Welcome to Flat Earth. That's absolutely correct. The model is not real. That's right, Shawn. Good dog.
It is the data that is collected from observations.
No, it's an assumption of an R value, giving you a geometric horizon in a model that you'll correlate with photographs and have done for 4 years despite your denial of that.
So we observe pictures. We do not observe the geometric horizon.
That's correct. You observe pictures. We don't observe a geometric horizon, yet 4 years after non-stop fundies comparing pictures to your reified R value and its geometric horizon, you now declare, what, as a defence? That those two things are not the same? Yeah, that would be our argument, Shawn.
No, your argument is whatever you think will make people think you're right. But
I think by declaration from you that we don't have a geometric horizon, despite there being one in your geometric model, that's convincing enough for my audience. Your declaration of a lack of physicality, your declaration over and over again that we'll never see a geometric horizon, even though it being the thing in your model claimed to be proving Earth curve.
Proving Earth curve, the geometric... Do you understand that what a geometric horizon is versus...
No, we don't have one. I don't understand what a geometric horizon is. We never see one. We don't have one according to you.
Yeah, we don't observe the geometric horizon.
Right, but there's definitely one in your model. It's marked with an X labelled horizon and been proven claimed to be proving out the Earth curve for the last 4 years when comparing that geometric model and its assumed R value, giving you a geometric physical horizon to block things in the distance, and how much it does prove those photos that are being compared, or were, before the Black Swan, were proving Earth curve by comparing something that you don't have, a geometric horizon marked with an X in your model, with photographs. Nonsense, according to Shawn G. You're not doing very well here. You're burying your model.
You are literally lying out your ass to what?
It's not a lie. You no longer have a geometric horizon. That's your declaration. So if it's a declaration that you've made, that's a lie, and we do have a geometric horizon, maybe you'd be able to show me that, as opposed to point it out in your model and tell me over and over again how that isn't reality. That would be our argument, that we don't have the reality of your geometric model. You think it's proven out by showing us photos and comparing them. Well, you did until today, and now you're saying that's not real.
What pictures have you seen that I've shown?
Sorry, it's a baseless generalization for all of you fundies who utilize Earth curve geometry on this show and have done for 4 years. Just because you haven't utilised Earth curve geometry to claim it proves the ball doesn't mean that that isn't the standard religious rhetoric of your religion in a ball Earth, you moron.
The curve.
He's not listening to a word I'm saying. He's literally not listening to me.
In the radius of the Earth.
Why are you talking constantly through me, Sean? Sean, earlier you moaned. Now you're talking through me constantly. Why are you continually talking through me and not listening to a word I'm saying anymore?
Because you haven't let me talk at all, so I have to find my points. I got to talk sometime, right?
Sorry, you spoke and told us about how you had Earth curve based on geometry that wasn't ever seen. You said we never see a geometric horizon, but that's the very basis of your religion in geometry. Now you're saying I've never made this argument. Well, that's what you're talking about, you fundy moron. That is your argument, you stupid dick. Now you're moaning that you're not getting enough time to speak after asking me where you're going to get a straight line from, given that that was my question, and you want to bleat and moan about it. Yeah, well, you bleat and moan while I continually ask you where you're getting a straight line from. A question you're yet to answer, Sean. You're not answering me about where we're going to get a straight line for your geometry. You're only declaring that we never see a geometric horizon, which is our argument, you complete idiot. So declarations that you don't have the geometry that you require isn't going to win you a point here. It's simply relinquishing the model's necessity for a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon. That's all you're doing.
I didn't hear anything you said. I was busy.
What, busy talking through me? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because you're not giving me a chance to talk. So when am I going to talk?
Well, every single time you get an opportunity to talk, you moan about the fact that you're not giving me an opportunity to talk, rather than telling me where you're going to get a straight line for a tangent. You bleat and moan about your non-chance to talk. And while I point it out, you talk through me. So all you're doing is talking through me and moaning when you get completely unimpeded air to make an actual argument that you're not getting an opportunity to talk. So you're appealing to format rather than actually trying to prove you've got a physical, geometric, sphere-edge horizon for your geometric, physical Earth curve model. And with that, I'll say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on the Nathan Oakley channel, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in, hopefully shared and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned if you're watching on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Yeah, chocolate did change the back.
All right.
So where are you going to get
Good
a
morning,
straight
guys.
line from, Sean?
Your observation.
The observations, according to you, have all got bent lines. Refraction.
When you make your observation and you're looking straight out to that tangent, that's the straight line.
You don't have one. You're deaf.
When
Don't talk through
Okay,
me,
when you
Sean.
look-
Sean.
when you look
Sean.
straight-
Sean.
when you look
Sean.
straight,
Stop
you don't see
interrupting
a
me.
straight line.
Sean. Yeah. You don't have one. If all the light is bent, Sean, you're being unreasonable, Sean. Sean, can you not cut off my points? Thank you. I'll try and have a reasonable conversation. We'll see how we get on. I'll try a third time. Sean,
cutting out.
Sean,
Nathan, you're cutting out.
Sean, I'm trying to say a single statement that I hope you'll respond to without interrupting. Can we try that for a fourth time? You don't.
Yes, you were cutting out, Nathan. I was asking.
Try shutting up. You're doing the usual fundy globehead mute trick where you cut off my conversation by talking. You're doing it now. You just need to shut.
Actually, I'm not.
You're talking now. I'm in the middle of a sentence and you are talking. Sean, I'm going to try for a fifth time. How many times, Sean? Sean, you've responded. You've said we've got a tangent. Now I'm trying to rebut that, but you're not allowing me. It seems you'd rather fundy mute any response to your rebuttal. I'm going to try and respond to your rebuttal that we have a straight line tangent by explaining that you've gone out of your way to explain that we never see a geometric horizon, point one, and point two, that is because of refraction. Refraction would be light deviating from straight, Sean. So you don't have a straight line to look at. Hello?
When you look, you're looking at it. You're looking at a straight line.
That's the same thing I've just responded to. Sean, I don't need a repetition. Now, I'm not interrupting you because you're going to give me anything new. There was a long pause. I heard your claim I'm not deaf. You've said we look out and see a straight tangent. No, Sean. You're explaining to us how it's all bent. That's not straight. So now, Sean, I'm in the middle of responding for a second time to something you've ignored and you're interrupting it again, aren't you, Sean? Yeah, you've given me the same response and I'm repeating my response. And for the second time when giving that response, you're continually interrupting it because it obliterates your rebuttal. Now I'm going to try again. Try not to interrupt. If your disclaimer is that A, we don't see a geometric horizon, then you can't draw a straight line to it. You can't see it. Number two. If all the light we're seeing is refracted, refracted means deviated from straight, Sean. So no, you're not going to be able to get any straight lines if they're all bent. So just asserting for a third time that you're going to conjure a straight line amongst all the refracted ones, that's not going to work. Do you understand?
Yep.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
All right. Can I?
What, ask for permission to give a response rather than giving one? Yeah, you can ask indefinitely. Maybe talk through my response 3 more times after you've delivered an absolutely shocking demolition of your own argument by declaring you've got no straight lines to anything, then simultaneously conjuring one out your ass and just saying we've got it.
Okay, so now that you're done, for your first one, when you make an observation, you look looking curved and bends. It doesn't work that way. Anything that you're seeing beyond that parent horizon, which we all see, and that's, I've never said different. Again, you're seeing things that loom up. Refraction is the light that hits your eyes. It is not saying it is bent. If you're talking about it being bent or distorted or shrank or compressed, then you're talking about the miraging effects of atmospheric optics. That would give you a false observation. That's why in your Black Swan observations, when you look at that horizon, quote unquote, the second horizon, it is distorted. There's no detail in it. It is literally a mirage.
Let me know when you finished.
Okay, well,
so
I wasn't done. I didn't say there were in that Black Swan photo.
I heard
you got
it's a mirage.
Mark,
Are you going to repeat yourself? Am I not going to get an opportunity to respond? Is it time to repeat it 4 more times? I'm not deaf. I listened.
Right.
Let me know when you're done.
Okay, I'll let you know. When in your Black Swan photos, your guys are giving the a false horizon, as in the mirage. The miraging is not the top of the horizon. You're literally trying to give a mark, a physical mark on a illusion that is there, an optical illusion. I don't understand how you can say that an optical illusion, a distorted object, distorted.
I haven't said anything. Don't put words in my mouth. I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything. I haven't said that. Do you want to give me a quote?
I didn't say.
Shut up!
I did
Shut
not
up!
say you did.
Shut up! You said what I said.
No.
How can you say this?
You said.
Sean, shut up or I'll fucking
talking.
mute you.
I'm not done talking
Excuse
yet.
me, you are done talking. You've just made up something I'm saying.
You can mute me on your end,
Right,
but you can't mute me on my end.
Sean, you've just said, how can you guys say I haven't said anything? So, no, how can you guys say what this miraged horizon? No, I'm not saying that. So don't put words in my mouth and make up quotes. If you've got a quote, quote me.
Never once did I say you said, Nathan.
How can you guys say?
Oh, that's perfect, because if that's the case, then stop saying I said the geometric horizon is seen, because I never made that claim.
Sorry, you said, how can you guys say?
What? Oh, before that, when you weren't letting me talk. Now I'm not complaining about the talking at all. I'm fine. If you're going to let me talk, I'll talk. If you're going to go back and forth, we can do that. But at no point did I mute you. I don't know why you kept saying fundy mute. That was weird.
Sorry, are you going to appeal to format or are you going to finish your point? I'm waiting for you to finish your actual point.
You told me to shut up, and I was actually
because you've said you guys say.
Yeah, and your Black Swan. You want photos? What do you want?
What's the argument? What do we actually say, Sean? What is the Black Swan argument? That's what we say. We've got an argument that goes with it. Don't make up stuff we say.
Okay.
Sean, I haven't finished. Sean, you're talking through me again. Sean, I haven't finished. I've got about 10 seconds. Excuse me, fundy mutist. Excuse me, I hadn't finished. Excuse me.
Question.
Oh, right. Got to stick him on mute. I had got halfway through a sentence and this fundy asshole's decided he's going to talk through every single word I say. I've pointed out that he's put words in our mouth. You guys say, no, we're not saying anything about mirages. We've got an actual argument. Now I'm asking, or trying to, but he won't fucking let me, get him to repeat the actual argument. Now, that's what we say, and I want to know if you know what we actually say. What is the Black Swan argument? Go!
That we should not see the horizon behind an object.
Wrong. You don't know the argument. Wrong. Shut up. Okay. Wrong.
No. I'm not going to shut up because I'm recording here too, so that I can make my very good points.
You are wrong. I don't need you to endlessly, incessantly babble with your nonsense, incorrect assertion about what our argument is. You clearly don't know it, so you want me to let you endlessly make it up? That is not the argument, Sean. Do you want another attempt to try again with a different string of bullshit? Because that isn't the argument. Don't talk nonsense
here we go.
while I'm
Here's
talking. Shut up. Shut up.
Nathan, and
Shut
up.
up.
Listen, then there's no point in talking. You just asked me to answer the question, and now you're telling me.
Now he's talking constantly. Yeah, I want to summarise my point. I want a nice little pause. Then I want the answer, which you've given incorrectly. So I'm going to berate you. You're not going to tell me you haven't had enough time. You were wrong. You didn't give our argument. It's very specific. You said about being behind something. Wrong. That is not our argument. You are incorrect.
Okay. Your whole argument is wrong, Nathan. Why?
You don't know our argument. I asked you to repeat it and you got it wrong. You're telling me it's the wrong argument? What, the one you haven't repeated and don't know?
Okay, are you going to server mute me again? Because I'm just going to leave you.
I will server mute you because you're telling me my argument's wrong and you don't know what the argument is. And while I point that out, you talk through me. You're talking through me now, asshole. So why am I server muting you? Because I'm pointing out very calmly now, because I've had to server mute you, that you are asserting my argument is wrong and you don't know what the argument is. So like a coward bitch, you're going to talk through me pointing that out and then cry foul when I actually manage to get my words out without them being interrupted because you're utilising the Globehead Fundy mute button like every asshole who comes here and gets smashed. The minute I start talking, you will talk through it. Because you know that me pointing out that you haven't repeated the argument, you've used the words behind something, which is absolutely not part of our argument. You think that you're going to later declare that my argument's wrong. You don't know what my argument is, and while I point that out, talking through me non-stop, you're going to cry foul that you're getting server muted for interrupting me constantly. Fuck off, you pathetic little twat. You think light travels in a straight line and simultaneously bends? You're a moron, Sean. Fundy muting asshole plays fucking foul bastard tricks, constantly muting me while I'm pointing out he's wrong, and then cries foul because I've got to shut him up.
Is he gone?
Yeah, of course he's run away like a cowed bitch. He said, if you server mute me, then I'm gonna go. Oh, right, what, so unless I allow you to continually interrupt every response, you're not gonna be here? Yeah, that's right. Unless I allow you to interrupt every single word I respond to you with, you don't want to play. You only want to play if I'm not heard and you are. You get to declare that we still have a straight tangent, and then I respond that you've declared they're all bent lines. He's going to talk through every word of that, and then cry foul when I actually shut him up so I can be heard.
I think the best part of the doublespeak was when he said, by observation, it looks straight, but it's curved.
He was actually recording all of that. He said he was recording it. I believe he only came in there to do exactly what he did, to get the responses he got, to try and talk through whatever you were saying, because he wasn't frustrated, and just so he can go back and give other people on Jose's and his own hangout or whatever listens to how it's not possible to go in and have a conversation with Nathan. That's what I reckon he was at.
Yeah, of course. He's come in to show that when I produce my show, I want to actually respond to their shit without an endless non-stop diatribe of them completely obfuscating any rebuttal. That's what I want to do on my show. Now, the fact that he wants to come and run distractions by talking incessantly, never letting anybody respond to any of his bullshit claims, double speaking that everything's refracted and we cannot see a geometric horizon, only to go on to say that we can draw a straight line to it when all the lines are refracted. Oh, right. No, it's unfair show. That's what it is. It's not that I've declared simultaneously that we've got a contradiction, bent lines and straight ones, both at the same time, a geometric horizon I'm going to draw a tangent to that we can't see. No, it's unfair muting, because I don't get to talk through the response constantly. So let's highlight that to my audience. Go ahead, Shawn, you pathetic little twat. Go and show my audience how I control my show. Because that's going to win you a geometric horizon when you're telling us we never see it, and it's not reasonable to compare it to photographs like's been done for 4 years. Yeah, you're going to do really well with your point scoring on the way the production of the show is. Yeah, really well done.
Yeah, they're just looking for a reason. Like him just recording that is just coming up with a reason that they wouldn't. So they can all listen to this, and that's their reason for not having to come in and deal with that.
I'm glad he recorded it, because basically they're switching their argument. For the last 4 or 5 years, they've been saying the reason the bottom of things disappear is because we don't see straight, because there's a bulge, a curve of the earth. Now he's saying the opposite.
Yeah, so they need to discredit me and my show production. That's all they're trying to do, attack one man. The argument, meanwhile, he can't even repeat.
Attack one man. He attacked his argument. Can't see a geometric horizon. Well, doesn't your model require that?
Yeah.
What?
Welcome to Flat Earth Chocolate.
I've been here, bro.
No, not you.
I missed a good one, apparently.
Right?
Yeah, they need a little backup. They need a little backup recording. Look, when I run my obfuscation and doublespeak bullshit, and he wants to respond to it, I want to be able to be heard talking non-stop. Look, he's talking through me. Yeah, you're fucking right. I shut you down and respond with the demolition of your argument, concisely, without your interruptions. What's that? You don't like it? Oh, right. Well, maybe if you came here with an argument that was coherent and not a complete contradiction in terms, i.e. bent light to everything, no geometric horizon, and simultaneously straight line tangent to a horizon that is geometric. No, that's a complete contradiction. But no, what he wants to do is come up with that bullshit argument. When it fails on its ass like everybody else, highlight how my show is produced.
Yeah, I heard him mention a second horizon. I wanted him to get back to that, because I don't know. In my experience, there's only one. So
no,
I'd like to know where he got that second one from.
Yeah, when he got to that, I waited patiently, asked him if he'd finished, and he carried on repeating his point. Scattergunning, that's what that's called.
Yeah.
Well, what you did was held him to his first fallacy, and you didn't lift your foot off the gas pedal there, and that's why it ended up the way it did, because he would not concede. He violated the law of non-contradiction there.
Hey, Quantum Eraser. Good weekend?
I just woke up, man.
Hey, where's my
Yeah, same for you, Chocolate. It's only because I hadn't said anything.
The clocks are killing me, man. I just woke up.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I got here late too. I just got here, thinking the show just started. I didn't realize their clocks changed.
No worries. Arwen gave me a Skype call at 3:38 in the morning, or something like that.
Oh, that was generous of him.
Yeah, I've been up for a while. Thank you, Arwen.
It just cottoned on a week late that none of the live shows reached the subscriptions feeds. So he was like, "Do you realise?" I was like, "Yeah, I told you."
Well, you summed it up there when you said if he had had a coherent argument, it would have gone well, but he didn't, and you held him to it because he was invalidating his own statement with his second statement, and you were going to pin him there until he conceded, and he didn't want to concede it. He just wanted to ramble on, ramble on.
Yeah, and when necessary, insert a geometric tangent to a point that he's claimed he can't see.
Yeah, I mean, he said it. By observation, it's straight, but it's curved. Well, what? Then it's not curved.
But straight to what? We never got there, because obviously it was just constant non-stop interruptions and distractions. So we never got to the point where if we've only got one horizon, and according to you it's not geometric, it's refracted, what are you going to draw a straight line to? Even if you could draw a straight line, what are you going to draw it to?
Nothing. He said everything you see is refracted.
Exactly. He screwed on both counts, and I labelled them number 1 and number 2. They weren't addressed. Merely obfuscated.
So everything you see is refracted.
Yeah, word for word. I wrote it down. Everything you see is refracted. That's what he said.
Wow.
But he's arbitrarily going to draw a straight line anyway. He'll arbitrarily draw that straight line, as that's what he just declared and just expected us to tolerate and accept. Yeah, the straight line's the straight line I'm going to draw. All right, well, that makes everything okay then.
They want to have a mathematical model that is not constrained by mathematics. That's the main big contradiction with them, isn't it? They want to have a radius that has a particular size and a circumference of that that's a particular size, but they don't want to be held to those mathematical constraints. You know, they want to be able to, have a bit of leeway.
Yeah, and until now they got away with it. And now we're pointing out that the restraints are embedded in the maths they're using. There are rules to geometry. One of them being the tangent line is straight. Game over.
Well, again, it kind of sucks when you're trying to use the very math that you need, that your model requires, actually debunks your model. That's a shitty position to have to hold. But they try.
So what happened? Something happened.
Shawn G came in and was like, I'm recording this show, so that he assumed that would give him the opportunity to never, ever end his sentence. And should I respond to anything, he gets to interrupt it non-stop without any problem whatsoever.
Wait a second. Who? Shawn Little G?
Yeah. I've never encountered
him. He came on the show?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I got here late, man.
Oh my God. You're talking about a special kind of stupid. This guy, remember we discussed him. He's below. I'm going to have to put him below Brenda.
Yeah,
You should have
that's
asked him. You should have asked him if rockets were matter.
he stole it from me, damn it.
This. Oh my goodness, this guy, dude. How long did it go on?
I don't know, 15 minutes.
I can't wait. When's this show go out?
This will be airing at about 9:40, 9:50 UK time.
Yeah, whatever time that is here. I don't even know.
No, my bad. I couldn't quite read the numbers. 9:42. That's the time now in the UK when this is airing. Yeah, that's my first time encountering Shawn G.
We got some audio. Hold up.
Excellent. You want me to play it?
Yes, I'll put him in Master B. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Well, that's some of that, while we're waiting.
Say again, 10th?
That's some of that fictitious geography. That's some of that fictitious geography, I guess, from Shawn G.
Shawn G's the guy that admits he doesn't understand Einsteinian gravity. So
Yeah,
he just
I got
dismisses
that. Yeah, hold up. I got that. Yeah, we might as well play that one first. 1 second, I'll drop in Master B.
Oh,
Don't ruin it, Anthony.
Who posted the postulates? Oh, it's Bev. Of course it is. Just got one of the presumably postulates from Euclidean geometry. Let it be granted, 1, that a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. That terminated straight line may be produced to any length in a straight line. This is great. Thank you, Bev.
I was going to share it, but I wanted to ask you first before I did. And you were so heated in the conversation, I said I better not.
Go ahead. What about the postulates?
Yeah, when Shawn G was in here and you were going at it with him, I was going to share it, but I didn't want to do it without saying it to you, in case it distracted you, as it was words rather than. I wanted you to read it first before I shared it, Jack. Anyway.
All right, I got Sean Little G with his gravity, and then I'll give you another one right after that.
Okay.
That because Newton's law of gravitation as a force can be used to a certain extent, which is also my understanding, I don't have to look at it as not a force, but as a bending of space-time, because I don't understand general relativity. So therefore, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have to look at it as anything else besides a force.
Sean Little G. What an abject moron you are, sir. So, because all you know about combustion is phlogiston, which is
It's
also
too quiet.
understanding, you don't have to look at oxidation reactions because you don't understand chemistry. So therefore, as far as you're concerned, you don't have to look at it as anything besides phlogiston. Are you kidding me? You, sir, need to turn your tricycle in at the next depot and report to the Who and Where the Fuck Am I institution immediately.
For some reason, that was super, super quiet.
Shouldn't have been.
I don't know. It could be something to do with me and Skype. I've no idea.
Sounded
Try
fine
that
for
one.
me.
Yeah, we heard it.
I'll just try this one.
In this example right here, this is a good diagram. Isolated, no matter or energy enters of leaves. This solid, sealed. Closed, energy enters and leaves, but material does not. Got the energy of the sun.
Oh, it's way too quiet. I'm really sorry. I don't know why.
All right. Something's up.
Something's up. I don't know why. I don't let it be completely dead air as a result. I'm trying to figure out the problem. Thanks for your help.
It went really quiet.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk. I need
Help yours.
Yeah, this is where I really need you to help and talk amongst yourselves while I try and figure out the problem. Thank you so much.
Hey, Brian, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Tent, what's the crack?
Can you tell us the
Yeah, that was,
lockdown, the times and everything, that curfew or whatever?
What?
You'll have to repeat that. I don't think anyone heard it. Discord. Whoever's in Discord.
Dr. La, can you repeat
Something
yourself?
about.
Who's that, Brian?
I'm sorry. I was just trying to see what the lockdown is like over there. That's all. If anything.
It's as false as it is everywhere else. That's the best way to describe it.
It's a refracted lockdown at the moment.
Well, I'm in South Carolina. And we don't have that yet. So I just wanted to see what we're headed for. That's all.
That's a different
On the
topic.
field.
We're on the
Just
flat
came
earth
to work.
debates here.
In this example right here, we got, this is a good diagram. Isolated, no matter or energy enters of leaves. This solid, sealed. Closed, energy enters and leaves, but material does not. Got the energy of the sun bouncing in and out. And then open, both energy and matter enter and leave. You got the energy of the sun, and you got, like, for example, you get a splash of water, and you got the water. So water is considered matter. But then when a rocket leaves over here, and we exchange this one little line with a rocket, with a big, fat Elon Musk rocket with some satellites, what is it considered? Is it energy or is it matter, like a droplet of water? That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm not sure if someone on the panel could answer.
Wow.
What the heck?
He said he wasn't sure if rockets could be considered as matter. If someone else on the panel could help him out, maybe. Yeah. Right.
What? Yeah, rockets are matter.
What he said?
Yes, that's what he said. Jose asked him, are rockets matter? And he said, maybe someone else on the panel can answer that. Are
remember
rockets
that
matter?
show.
Rockets don't matter to me.
Sounds like you got. Sounds like you got the
That's
sound.
'cause
No, it was
Tense,
just
hold
Right
on.
in the middle.
It was
Oh,
just a-
yeah, I'm right in the middle of a sentence. Hold on. Sounds like you got the sound fixed, Nathan.
Well, no, it's a very quiet recording, so even when I put it into a different program, it was still really, really quiet.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not my Skype, it was just the recording is super quiet.
I'll check it out after we're done here.
Yeah, I was in the middle of my sentence too.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, rockets don't matter to me. I just had my energy drink and I have a boost.
Yeah, outer space is fake.
Shawn G is lucky that I wasn't close to him because I would have strangled that dude.
He's from Boston.
Even more.
Yeah, it's worse for you because you're in the Discord server. When he's rumpusing the shit out of what I'm saying, all you can hear is the chaos. Where I close the line, I'm not going to allow that to reach my audience, and that's what he wants to highlight. So he wants to show that where he's causing audio chaos, he's recording it. And he'll say, look, I was talking and he's talking too. It's like, okay, well, you've made a point. I'm responding to it, but you want to continue talking. That's what he wants. So by recording it, he's saying, look, once I've made my point and he starts demolishing it, I want to continue. And he's not letting me. That's going to be his argument.
I understand how it goes, but that was very frustrating because I know exactly what he's doing. He's not letting you speak. So all we heard was chaos, but, you know, hey, what are you going to do
It's a
when
big tell.
Black Swan arrives?
Yeah, he knew that. He knew what he was doing because he said it. He said, you can mute me on your end, but you can't mute me over here. That's what he said.
He was recording it.
So, yeah,
No,
he was anticipating it.
It's a big.
Yeah,
It's a
they
big
still
tell.
don't seem to realize that a tangent line is a straight line, and they're conflating an arc line with a tangent line. They don't realize that those are two.
Correct.
That's not the point. It's a big tell. They can't defend in any way the Black Swan motor stolen. So they have to come and say, I recorded it. I couldn't get a word edgewise while obfuscating this thing about method and the way Nathan runs the show, because the Black Swan is so devastating. They can't address it directly. And Nathan was going to pin him on that when he was saying everything about his observations was straight, but there's a curve. That's doublespeak.
Well, that's all they got left, right? Is just tactics. They don't have like any actual rebuttals, and whatever rebuttals they have, like, just have been destroyed at this point. So they have tactics.
Elmer, FUD tactics.
Yeah.
That's what
If that.
That's what I said in the after show. I said, if you had a great point, then why don't you just let Nathan finish and then you speak? Why are you speaking right through? I don't know if I was speaking to him or somebody else, but I was defending Nathan in the after show.
Exactly. If he's got a great point, I'm not going to censor anything because that would get called out. But as for endless repetition of the same point, no, I'm not going to tolerate it. Same goes for once he's made a point that absolutely obliterates his own argument. I'm going to stop him in his tracks and say, okay, welcome to Flat Earth then. No geometric horizon, welcome to Flat Earth. No, you're interrupting, there was more to come.
Right. According to them, light travels in a curved path based on the donkey dick tangent line, but that's not how light behaves. Light travels in waves, so they don't even understand how light travels as a wave. It doesn't follow a curved path as they're trying to suggest.
You're getting in big trouble with that wave nonsense.
Yeah. What do you mean light travels in waves?
Are you talking about what Anon was arguing with you about a few months ago, that light isn't a wave, it's a particle? Is that what you're referring to?
Now we're fucked.
Hang on. We're talking about...
I heard that come through too.
We're talking about the geometric horizon marked with an X, which they got from the radius of the Earth at 3959. They didn't mark the X because of refraction.
Exactly. Anytime, if anyone brings up any point against the Black Swan with refraction now, I'm just categorizing it as a red herring fallacy. It's irrelevant and a diversion. Has nothing to do with the argument. There is no atmospheric refraction pushing the horizon 10 times further than it should be. So I'm labeling it what it is. And I'm just going to crack them.
And by should be, what you mean is what they're claiming. Geometric, physical, the edge blocking the buildings. That's what it should be according to their rhetoric. So there's nothing that's going to change that physicality. We're talking about geometry. That's our argument based on their geometric claims. So as soon as they say, well, no, it's going to be pushed with refraction, well, like you say, red herring. No, we're talking about your geometry. Well, no, because geometry is also based on light bending. No, it isn't. You're drawing straight lines to physical sphere edges. That's what geometry is. So absolutely, red herring.
But they're trying to defend pseudo-geometry. They don't even have proper geometry.
Well, Bev's trying to time down on what geometry they're using, and they're using Euclidean. They're just bastardizing it.
Chewie, I got an issue with you.
Get in line.
What's with the crack 'em? What do you mean crack 'em? You're supposed to reach in his chest and pull his freaking heart out.
Neil makes me miss New York so much, I swear.
Yeah.
On the other hand, at least a little bit of props goes to Shawn for actually having the balls to come in.
He's too stupid to realize that's just stupidity, man. I wouldn't grant him much on that.
Oh, I see. It's like,
I think.
Go on, Brian.
Sorry, I was just saying. I think he only came in just to try and get a recording. You know, that's because I don't think he can. Maybe at the very start, but it turned into just a recording. That's all he wanted, a recording, so he could give people to listen to it and say, "Look, he can't go into Nathan's because he shouts at you." You know, even though he avoided and would not address his contradiction at the very start. Sorry.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to this guy?
Shawn G, no.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's
oh my
it's
God.
bad.
But I agree with you, Brian. That's precisely what he wanted. Along with something else. So he's heard the arguments and he wants them put from his own lips to affirm his own belief. And where there's a straight line being drawn in all their donkey dick geometry drawings, he's going to describe that because he's seen it and he's been told that's correct. The fact that it's getting absolutely pummeled here just means he needs a little get out clause to discredit me as an individual. That's all he really wants as a last resort when he fails. So discredit me. Go ahead. It's so much water off a duck's back. I couldn't care less. In the comments, my automatic response, meanwhile, you no longer have a geometric physical sphere edge for a horizon, as required by your geometric model. When they attack me as an individual, or attack my understanding, or attack my production, who cares? You no longer have a geometric model. It's been debunked. R's dead. But you feel free to attack me, because that's far more important.
Yeah, that's all it was about, really, I think. You know, unless I'm giving him too much props. Maybe he actually did come in and then kind of turned it into something else. You know, maybe he did try to come in and have the conversation. But, you know, the fact that he said he was recording, why did that happen? Why did he feel the need to record?
Well, forget that's irrelevant. He's recording just because if he gets a win, he can share it. If he doesn't get a win, then he'll just erase it. The point is, he came in to prove a geometric curve, a bulge that blocks the bottom of things on a curved sphere that he believes he lives on, and he failed to do so.
Absolutely.
It should be the easiest thing. It should be the easiest thing in the world to prove if we live on a sphere because it's just geometry at a 1 foot observer height with a radius of 3959. The geometric horizon can be no more than 1.23 miles. It's solid. It's concrete. It's there. Let's all see it, and we'll all agree we'll live on a curved ball.
Precisely. And with that absolutely epic and perfect rendition of the Black Swan argument that Shawn failed to repeat, I'm going to say another huge, enormous, massive thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream audience for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!